Okay, guys, today what we are going to be discussing is why our timelines will help us, and why our timelines, or where our timelines, how our timelines can help us, and how our timelines can detract us from our goals. So um, just say me, or give me like a silent head nod. If this has been you, or if you've thought this and you're starting to learn more about like workouts, calories, nutrition. We try to outline it as detailed as possible in this program. And um, then you're like, you know what? I think I got this down. I think I'm figuring it out, and I think I know exactly what to do. If that's you, just give me like a silent head nod, and like you're like, cool, I got this game down, right? So what I want to talk about is there's multiple levels, guys, of this fitness thing. All right. So a lot of us have gone only one way in our health and fitness, and that's up, right? Like, and that's why most of us are here. Like, we were sick and tired of where we were at. We were fed up, and we knew that we needed to change something, right? But we were constantly going here. We were going up, 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 up. Our weight was gaining, so all we know now is the opposite. All right, well, I went this way, and now I got to go back down this way. So there's a lot more levels than just like gaining weight and losing weight. There's maintaining, there's building your metabolism back up. There's like refeeds. So for example, kind of going on the building the metabolism back up, Alyssa, when we started, she was eating around like 1,300 calories, 13 or 1,400 calories, and now we got her eating 1,000 more calories and maintaining her weight. So like, there's that level, right? There's the level of like building your metabolism back up. There's the level of once you start losing weight, because all of us think that, cool, I lost a pound or I lost a half a pound, and I just continue to lose this half a pound, and life is easy, and we just move forward. And for most of you, for most of you guys that have been with me over, I think most of us here have been with me like at minimum over the 12-week mark. Like, that it doesn't just happen like that, where you don't just, the weight doesn't just continue to go down. Who here has had the weight just constantly gone down from day one when we started? Has anybody had that? Cool, because if you did, then we'd have to figure out how. Some people it happens like that, but it's very, very, very rare. I think in like 8 years, I've only had one client where he's like, well, do I need to change my macros? I'm like, no, no, everything's working, so we're just not going to touch anything. um but we know that that is not 99% of the population. You're going to have times where we've had to take a diet break. Who here have I told to take a diet break before? Just unmute yourself and just say me if I've told you to take a diet break before. Just go ahead and unmute yourself. I could name some of you. Jules, we've had to take a diet break. Mina, we've had to take a diet break. Sandra, in one sense or another, we've had to take a diet break. Um, so, guys, there's multiple aspects to this when we think that, like, okay, well, just continue to do a calorie deficit. Sometimes we'll actually like increase the food, and sometimes we will decrease the cardio. And you're like, well, doesn't that not put us at a deficit? And that's the point that we're talking about today, is that we've gone one way our whole life, so we think that like it's just eat a lot more or eat a lot less. And yeah, in the macro sense, that's what it is. It's calories in versus calories out. But then there's things that happen in between. So for example, let's say when you hit your goal weight and or physique weight, or physique goal physique, then we want to be able to maintain that. Like, how do you maintain that? Do you eat more? Do you eat less? Sometimes we do reverse diets, right? So sometimes we do reverse diets, and reverse diets are going the exact opposite way. It's just what it sounds like. It's slow. It's what we've been doing with Alyssa, as I was mentioning earlier, is like slowly adding food, slowly adding more calories in order to build our metabolism back up. Sometimes we do this in order to build metabolism back up. Sometimes we do this while trying to maintain our weight. So it took us, most of us, it took us months and maybe years to get where we were, to a place where we didn't want to get to. And we think that in like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks time, that it's going to be like all gravy. But we have to understand that, you know, if for example, like on an extreme example, if if I were to put an alcoholic on a program, he's not gonna just like not be an alcoholic in like 6 weeks, right? It's taken him years to get to that point. So same thing like with our body and with our habits more than anything. I was talking about this with some clients earlier this week. Is like, you know, they're like, oh, I'm such a frustrating client, this, that, and the other. It's like, not a frustrating client. It's just, this is what you've known for so long, right? You've been implementing like, I got to do extremely high reps in order to tone, or low reps are for bulking only and whatnot. And then we have that, like, we've known that, or we've read that, or someone's told our friends that, and our friend got in really good shape because maybe they were doing some extreme diet, not from what they actually told you. And then you're like, well, so and so looks like they're in good shape, and they said that if I do keto, it's right, or if I do the caveman diet, or if I eat low fat foods or high fat foods or whatever it is. So sometimes, guys, it's just it takes more time because we're breaking these bad habits. Does that make sense, guys? So sometimes we have to break habits before we could actually see physical changes. Also, that also being said, when we are seeing physical changes, and I like to mention this every week and talk about it this every week, is don't get ahead of yourself. Because guys, like, it, most people thinks it takes like 6 to 12 weeks to start getting in a better, like a better physique or a better shape, or just like changing your nutrition plans completely. When I think a lot of us are, or not our nutrition plans, sorry, our habits, our physical habits and our food habits. When in actuality, I think most of us are figuring it out, especially doing it the right way, that it takes more like 6 to 12 months instead of like 6 to 12 weeks. And it does take time in order to get to that next level. So just continue asking, continue learning, and continue sticking with the basics, and just know that, like, again, all these crazy scenarios and all these crazy transformations that you might see in maybe like a shorter period of time than you've done are probably not sustainable, right? Or are probably photoshopped, or are probably like, sometimes you see crazy ones, but like you don't know this person's background. Like I've seen some crazy transformations in like a 6 week or 8 week time span, but they were a professional athlete before that just let themselves go. So like they had that tone or muscle or that build or that physique before, whereas in you might have that, or you might be trying to build that, right? Or trying to build a base. So it's just very important to understand that, like, what has taken us years to get to is not going to take us weeks to overcome. Does that make sense, guys? Cool. All right. Before I get into this next gem, because this one's going to blow you guys' minds, we're going to go around the circle, and I just want your biggest takeaway from that. So I'm going to start with Connie.
I think my biggest takeaway from that is just be patient with myself. Like you said, it took a while to get to where I am now compared to where I was before. And it's not going to be a quick fix. Like I need to go ahead and build that base to go ahead and get back to where I was, if not exceed that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for sharing, Connie. Tabitha, biggest win, biggest takeaway from today. Tabitha, are you here? All right, we'll come back to Tabitha. Monet, what's been your biggest takeaway from today?
We're not gonna get like a continuous drop in weight. Like there's gonna be some ups and downs, but it's gonna fluctuate.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Mina, biggest takeaway from today.
Biggest takeaway is that this is kind of a lifestyle change, not just like a quick fix. So whereas before, I personally did a lot of like, hardcore hit and like, try to get as much water weight and as weight off as quickly as
Mina, I think it muted you.
possible. And so this is a little
There we
bit
go. It muted you for a second.
okay.
But
I was saying is that
you got cut off at water weight.
okay, yeah, I was saying previously, like, I was trying to cut weight heavily through, martial arts stuff like that, and they just want you to do as much cardio and get everything quicker and get everything done, but it's not sustainable. This is probably this is the better approach, lifestyle wise and results wise. So it takes time
Awesome.
to change habits.
Awesome. Definitely. Thank you for sharing, Mina. Sandra, biggest takeaway of today.
Things can change. Circumstances can change, just like what happened with Connie. I'm sorry to hear that. So just kind of just be mindful of those types of roadblocks or pebbles along the way that you may have, and think of it more as a journey than just like something that you can quickly turn around and then think everything's just going to be like different when it's really not.
Absolutely. I'm gonna touch on that really quick, guys. Like the beauty is like this is gonna sound super cheesy, but here we go. The beauty is in the journey. It's not like the destination. Cause like if, for example, you woke up tomorrow like with your dream body, let's say, or your dream physique or your goal weight or your pant size or dress size or whatever it is, like that's cool and you're gonna like feel good initially when you see yourself or fit into that article of clothing that you haven't, but like, you know, it's it's a lot, it's everything along the way. Like I remember when I was going through like uh one of my many like transformations. This one I was doing like a super hardcore diet where I was doing like I think like an hour of cardio in the day and night. But anyway, I would get a lot of stuff done during the day, then go to work, then go work out, then do more cardio in the evening. But I'm just like, man, like when I did get to the goal physique that I wanted, or when I started like seeing some really big changes in my body, I was like, man, like even as I was going through it, I was like, man, like I'm getting more stuff done now in this like first few hours of my day than some people have gotten all week, so, or all day. So it's just like the beauty in that, and just like also, and this is not to like sound cocky or anything, it's just what you're doing and what you're putting in the work, but like, just to be proud of what you're accomplishing through this time, because a lot of people so cocky a lot of people in here um think that you made me lose my train of thought when you said that. Oh, a lot of people like uh want to do what you're doing and maybe secretly like talk bad about you or say like, hey, you look fine or you look skinny, but they're just or you're healthy or whatever like that. But it's just because they want to achieve what you're doing. Like they want to get to the point where they're doing workouts first thing in the morning, or they're making time for themselves, or they're working out on vacation, or they're tracking stuff on like, like, oh, like, oh, you're doing that tracking thing again. Pff, I can't do that. That's crazy. But like, but then as they continue to see your progress, they're like, hey, so what you been doing to change your like I see you've been losing a lot of weight, or they start asking you what supplements to take or stuff like that. So just be proud of the journey along the way. Yeah. Jules, biggest takeaway.
Anything worth having takes time. So, I mean, I've never lifted before this. I've worked out my whole life, but that's just cardio. I've never lifted. So to see my body change from just strictly doing cardio my whole life to actually lifting weights and my body change, like that's really different for me, but it's taking time. And that's something I'm not used to. I'm used to cardio just real quick, like a month, bam, lost all this weight. But my weight's distributing differently because it's muscle. So that's my biggest takeaway, that it's different, and I'm doing something different now, so it's going to look different. It's going to take more time.
Awesome. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing, guys. Thank you all for sharing. So I'm going to share something with you guys, a little ninja trick on MyFitnessPal. And this is going to be like when you guys are going out to eat, or let's say you are like eyeballing some food or something like that, something you don't know that has all the ingredients, but you're like, I don't know, it looks like it has 30 grams of carbs and 20 grams of fat and 10 grams of protein or something like that. This is what we're going to do. So are you guys on your phones or on your computers? You can unmute yourselves. Okay, so if you're on your phone, if not, if you have your phone available, use your phone. If not, you can just do it right after this. But I made three foods in here. So I made fat, carbs, and protein. So if I go into fat, I've done it so however many grams of fat you put in here, it will calculate the total calories for you. So for example, so just everybody unmute yourself. How many grams of fat? How many calories in 1 gram of fat? Everybody knows
9.
this, please.
9.
All right, awesome. So if I do one, so I got 0, and that light is bright.
Yes.
Hold on. Turn this light off, see if that helps. As if it's extremely sunny outside. There we go. Okay, so we're on 0. Let me
Dim the screen, probably at all.
That's that tech talk. There we go.
Yes.
All right, so now I've put 1, can you guys see that?
Yeah.
I put 1 gram of fat, so that equals 9 calories. So let's say I think that this food is 10 grams of fat. That's going to add 90 calories to my food. I'm going to hit plus. I've also done that with protein and carbs. So if I go protein, guys, how many grams of protein? How many grams of carbs? How many calories in 1 gram of carbs?
4.
Yeah, let's go. All right. So if I put 20 grams of protein, that's 80 calories. I'm gonna hit check. How about protein?
4.
Anybody? Anybody? How many grams of protein in one calorie? 1 gram of protein is how many calories?
4.
All right, awesome. So
Ask
same
me
thing.
about alcohol.
How many in alcohol, Connie?
7.
Let's go. All right. So now I just added a food in here that had about 20 grams of protein, about 20 grams of fat, and 20 grams of carbs, 20 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat. In there, I just named it macros. Hopefully you can see that in one sense or another. And that's added 250 calories, and that's all done for you. So instead of like at the end of the day, you having to be like, I think this was this, and like kind of subtracting stuff from your day, you could just have this all set up for you. So all you're gonna do, guys, for that is, I just named it macros: fat, macros carbs, macros protein, and I did this a while ago, so you had to put like where it's from, like the manufacturer or something. So I just put restaurant. So when you see it, Is that blurry or you guys? Let me try and dim it a little more. Anyways, it says restaurant under there. Okay, you'll see it when you add it in there. But yeah, that's just another tip and another thing that you can do, like when you're going out to eat, if like something's not on the menu, or you think maybe it has more fat or more protein or more carbs, so that way you're just set up for success even more. Cool. Any questions, guys? We're all set up. We're all ready for success for the weekend. Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. I'm going to post the biggest win in the group. Make sure to go post your biggest win. And that is it, guys. Hope you guys all have an amazing rest of your day. Let's finish this weekend strong. And I'll talk to you all very soon. Bye. Oh, wait. Before you go. Oh, man, I missed Sandra. Take a pic. We got to take a pic. Oh, I almost forgot to take the pic. Monet, turn your camera on.
No.
Monet, turn your camera on. All right, guys, we're gonna take the pic. I'm going with the flex. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Monet, you're flexing too. I see you, girl. All right, guys, have an amazing rest of your day. We'll talk soon.